In this video, we'll show you how to replace the fuel pressure sensor on your Chevy Colorado. This is located under the vehicle and right next to the transfer case on the frame. Let's get started. In order to depressurize our fuel system, we need to remove the fuel pump module fuse. To do that, we come up to the engine bay, and on the driver's side, we have our fuse box. On either end, there's these tabs we can pinch on, and then one on that side as well. And we can remove the top. On the inside, we do have a diagram. If we look down at number 34 fuse, that's our fuel pump fuse. Looking towards the front of the fuse box, we have a 30 amp fuse here. The fuses are numbered to the side of them, so it says 34 next to the fuse here. Inside most fuse boxes, you will have a puller. If you don't, you can certainly use some needle nose pliers. These are great because they hold on to the fuse without you having to. Now you can start up the vehicle and let it run until it dies out. It's a good idea to turn it over one more time to make sure all the fuel pressure is out of the system. To disconnect the negative terminal, we have a 10 millimeter here up top. We'll go ahead and loosen that up. Once that's loose, you can wiggle the terminal and pull up. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can look up on the driver's side of the vehicle right next to the transfer case. We find our fuel pressure sensor. Remove the white tab, and that'll allow us to push down on the tab here. You always want to check terminals for any damage or corrosion. We can use a 16 millimeter wrench to loosen up the sensor. It's a good idea to have a receptacle underneath the vehicle to catch any fluid that may drip out. And we can remove the sensor. Before installing your new sensor, you want to inspect the O-ring on the line. If it's cracked or damaged in any way, you're going to want to replace it. We'll start to thread the sensor on, and we can snug this down. You want to be very careful. It's a good idea to hold the line while you snug this down. You don't want to bend the lines. We can torque this to 11 foot-pounds. I'll be using a crow's foot on my torque wrench. When you do this, you want to have it at 90 degrees to the torque wrench to keep the numbers the same. We got the connector plugged back in. Make sure it's seated and not going to pull back out. We'll get the plastic clip in and press down on that. Back up in the engine bay, we can put our fuel pump fuse back in. We'll line up the cover with the fuse box and make sure that's fully seated down. You can get your negative terminal back on. And we'll tighten down that as well. You may want to turn the key a few times to make sure that the fuel system is primed. Go ahead and start the vehicle and take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.